Hello everyone, today I'll be unboxing Japanese destroyer SHIMAKAZE in 1/350 scale from Hasegawa. So this is SHIMAKAZE in her late stage, so this is 日本海军驱逐舰岛风, and this just means late something. So this is like 1944 Shima, I'm pretty sure. So you got this pretty cool picture of her out sailing, and you got the guns there. And then here's here's the title again, and here's a completed model for reference along with that. This is a 2016 kit right here. Here's just like some general descriptions of what's inside the kit, and here's some of the detail shots. So let's open this up and see what we have in here. So I've made two 1/350. So building this will be my second 1/350. The other one's HMS Eskimo that I made from Trumpeter. The kits had snapped in half and fixed it pretty nicely. So now with it opened, get the bottom off. Anticipation is pretty nice on this one. Let's open it up and see what we have in here. Sweet, so it's multicolored parts. Nice. All right, so right here, I'll open that up real quick. Multicolored parts is really nice. So right here, we seem to have the propellers and the stand parts. So this is the golden elements, which is pretty sweet. Right here we have clear parts, so this seems to be a light of some sort along with the bridge windows. Right here we have the decking. You can see the panel lines there are pretty sweet. This has the bilge keels, propeller shafts, and the propeller supports along with the rudder right here. So now let's look at the main sprues themselves. Let me cut this open real quick. Alright, so quite a number of stuff in here. Let's see what we have right here. The black sprue has the stand along with the funnel caps right here. The next sprue, so this sprue seems to be anti-aircraft guns. That seems to be one of the Japanese radars of some sort. The mountings for the AA guns, and that seems to be depth charges. This sprue has the bridge. SHIMAKAZE has a pretty futuristic bridge, if I'm honest. Some of the decking parts, along with a good panel line on them. So this is actually the radar. This is the weird Japanese, like, vertical radar of some sort. Next sprue, we have the torpedo launcher. So this is the Japanese torpedoes with like the quintuple launchers. Here's a base for a gun and the gun barrels themselves. That's a turret. This seems to be like a gun pedestal of some sort. Don't know why these sprues are so weirdly shaped. I haven't tried a Hasegawa kit in a long time, so I guess this is what they look like. So next, this seems to be more gun parts. You have some of the details, so that's anchors. You've got the the hoses for damage control. Some of that looks like tubing and pipes. Torpedo launcher again. You got the davits and the little boats, and some of like the binoculars. I feel like some of the stuff has fallen off in this kit. Kind of weird. Right here is a duplicate sprue of the previous one, so it's the same. This sprue seems to be of anti-aircraft guns and depth charges. This is another duplicate sprue. Look at this part again. This part seems to be general hull elements. So you have the funnel, forward deck, superstructure elements, anti-aircraft deck leveling, masts, and more tubing and whatnot. Right here, it seems that we have 3 gun turrets that have just fallen out of this thing. I don't want to lose them, so I'll put them back inside. Right here, we have the decals. So we have her name. That seems to be something for the bridge windows. Identification stripes, along with the nameplate of the ship for the stand and the Imperial Japanese ensign right there. Now let's look at the instructions. So it's a pretty thick booklet of the instructions. Right here we have all the history behind the SHIMAKAZE. So this is the instructions, and then the hull's put together on there. And before we actually look at the instructions, let's look at the superstructure. So this is the hull itself. This is the so it's actually molded in this large single piece. So some of the superstructure is already helpfully molded for you. The bottom hull is molded in red, so you don't actually have to do that much painting if you prefer not to do so. And then the stern is actually a separate piece that you put on, which is pretty cool. And then the brown decks go on separately, so that's pretty nice. So SHIMAKAZE is a pretty big destroyer. And the bottom's red. The panel lines on here look pretty supreme. And you also got all the diamond decks on there to make sure like you don't slip. Okay, anyways, look at the instructions. We put the hull together with all the elements on there. Then we add the propellers, rudders, and the sidings. Then we put that on the stand itself. Then the funnels come together along with the superstructure. You add the pipings and whatnot to the side. Then you add the ventilator fans along with construction of the superstructure right here. Then it seems you add the decal to the main windows, and the rangefinders go on there. Then the superstructure goes on. Then you add all the little hoses and the turret barbette, along with like an anti-aircraft gun platform. Right here you add more of the pedestals for the torpedo launchers. Then you made the machine gun deck right here along with the funnel. Then you add more ventilators along with the funnel on top. Right here you assemble the back deck along with some of the searchlights. The back deck goes onto the stern along with more stern superstructure. Stern superstructure for the back turret, and the back turret barbettes are put on. More ventilators, and then the decks. Next we add in more of the hoses, ventilation ducts, depth charges, more ammo boxes. The mast comes together right here. Then we add the anti-aircraft guns, so the twin 25s, the 5-inch guns, the boats, the torpedoes, more of the little boats, and we add those parts onto the ship. After that, we add the torpedo launchers and the guns, and they can be rotated. Then after that, we add the davits and the little boats, pretty cute. And then we add the forward masts and some of the cranes along the side. And then this seems to be some of the decking again. And then you add the decals on there. And then here is the painting scheme for the ship. So this is her November 1944 camo scheme. And then here's her here's like the identification markings for whichever one you want to make specifically. And then here's the general rigging scheme for the ship. It's like that. And an optional photo etch. And that's the end. Alright, it's a pretty cool kit. The video's not over 9 minutes long. It's a lot of stuff. But this is pretty interesting. Anyways, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and share this video.